All right, this is Roger Mark Billings, Montana. We're getting into the deep state censorship. We're talking about finance repair. We're talking about the banking syndicates that existed for a long time, at least 400 years.
A derivative of the banking syndicate. Why don't they know that?
Well, I think
Now the Federal Reserve is a derivative banking syndicate. It started 1913, but in 1930 it had silver and gold backing behind the dollar. And the dollar is a commodity index thing. It goes up and down. It's traded in the commodities exchanges, uh, financial forex exchanges, and now all these forex exchanges, they're commodities. They're commodities. This isn't being taught. This isn't even understood in the educational system, and it's not being taught. Period.
a lot of the miscommunication that you run into is that the banking system itself is that there's printing of money, and it seems that, we assume that the dollar has something to do with the government, and the feds are the ones who control our currency. So I think there's kind of an automatic assumption that gets put on with that, and that's why people assume that.
Now, we got to understand that the Federal Reserve is part of the banking syndicate. It has nothing to do with our federal government other than bondage, because we have slept with these guys since it was created, and this was all done illegally, by the way. And the people did not understand these Federal Reserve notes are a part of the banking syndicate, worldwide banking syndicate. These central banks are all part of this worldwide banking syndicate. But they buy and own and control the monetary policies of the government and people, and make us indentured servants to these policies, to say the least. And we've gotten off the gold standard. We've gotten away from these things. The founding fathers told us not to get involved with these foreign entanglements, and these banking syndicates are some of the worst.
That central banks have something to do with the government itself.
That's true. I mean, it goes back to, well, in our case, 1913.
Correct, yes.
A Creature from Jekyll Island, the book written by G. Edward Griffin, speaks about how the banking syndicate, run by a number of families, and one of the families that everybody talks about is the Rothschild family.
That's correct, yes.
But there are other families, right? The Lazards, Pincus's, Warburgs, Loebs. The Pessoa family, as I understand it, is the head of the snake when it comes to.
Now, the Pessoa family didn't even know this, but he calls it the head of the snake. I'll have to look up the Pessoa. Let's look at this on transcript. It's even there. Let's see. I don't see it. But we could also suffer an additional bondage. Because of unrepented sins, they are in what the Apostle Peter referred to as spirit prison. And it's not even done right in this translation, which is unfortunate. I think a lot of these things are controlled by software and bots, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Families.
I mean, you can name a few of them in all honesty that, we really have, there's the main ones that we kind of go for, and that's the Rothschilds are clearly the main, one of the ones that we focus on the most. A lot of it has to do with the individuals who over a period of time have had tons of power in our country based off of monetary policy. And
now, you got to understand that's what the key power is. Monetary policy is where they've gotten this power and where they've enslaved us. And we've not been educated how to stop and get away with this. Digital currencies and systems are now breaking some of this down because they can't control that. So that is a great blessing of digital currencies. Why I encourage you to get into cloud token.
It's been at the expense of the American people that they've been running these systems that they've created for themselves.
And some folks will say, well, wait a minute, at the expense of the American people. Well, if you look at the value of the dollar in 1913, when the criminal banking syndicate took control of our money supply through the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank that we know today, That dollar from 1913, Adriana, is worth how much today?
Well, this is what people need to come under the conclusion of. There's the dollar is a commodity itself, and it changes in value. When people pick up a dollar, they say, "Oh, this is worth $1." But that's not true. The dollar index changes constantly on the New York Stock Exchange, and we see it move up and down.
Yeah, that is with all the financial markets, all these world banks. They trade these commodities in these exchanges. Forex exchange trades against different currencies, dollar against different currencies. They're making money on this several ways, not only from us in monetary policy, but these Forex exchanges and these commodity exchanges. They're making money on that too. They're making money, these syndicates are making money several ways. Not only by our monetary policies, but these commodities exchanges, foreign exchanges, they're making money on that too because they're wealthy people. They are raking in the bucks big time and the control through these policies and through their monetary systems.
On top of that, during that time, it had gold backing and silver backing, which we've completely taken ourselves off of that standard and devalued it more than people are willing to admit.
So when you
I'm going to give you this full thing here. You should be concerned about the financial policies and these organizations, these syndicates, these banking syndicates, which are creating these policies and which have billions and trillions of dollars to play these commodities markets, these forex markets, and even now to play the digital currency markets. They're using these monies to play all these markets. And I'm going to end it here. I'm going to give you the link for this and go from there. It's Roger Mark from Billings, Montana. But becoming aware of how money really works and who controls it is key to our future financial survival and choices. We've got to break these syndicates down or get away from them or lessen their control and power. Otherwise, we'll never get rid of these systems that have kept us in bondage worldwide. It's Roger Mark from Billings, Montana. Good day.